In the movie, our main character Hutch Mansell is interrogated by two police officers with handcuffs. It seems like he is a criminal. In front of officers he lights his cigarette and offers food to his cat. Officers asking him questions and he replies nobody. Scene flashes in past and we know Hutch is an apparently customary man. He has two youngsters with his better half Becca, has an unexceptional occupation as an office laborer in his father by marriage Eddie's metal creation organization, and for the most part minds his own business. The monotony of his life is gradually crushing on him. He and his significant other have not been cozying in years, and his child Blake has no regard for him. Just his young little girl, Sammy, shows him any warmth, and he also take good care of his daughter. One night, a man and lady break into his home and hold him at gunpoint, requesting cash. Box gives them his watch, yet when they attempt to leave, Hutch noticed a tattoo on her wrist. Blake handles one of them. Box is going to go after them with a golf club, yet stops himself and allows them to move away, bringing about Blake getting a bruised eye. The occurrence makes Blake float considerably further away from his dad, and everybody in Hutch's life, from his neighbor to his brother by marriage at work, asks him for what reason he didn't attempt to stop the robbers. His brother Charlie asked him why he didn't stop intruders, and he also provided a gun for next time. Hutch offers Eddie he wants to buy his father-in-law business, but the old man refused and suggests him come with good price. Hutch locked his door and contacts his probably perished relative Harry on a secret radio in his office and makes sense of that he kept down as the criminals were frantic, terrified, and utilizing a dumped firearm. Hutch also met his father at nursing home and reminiscing his past. Soon thereafter, Hutch's family preparing for dinner and Sammy asks her dad for help finding her armband, which Hutch accepts the cheats took. Without saying a word, he goes to see his old dad David and gets his old FBI identification and weapon to find the robbers. He tracks down their condo and undermines them. However, when he understands they looted him to get cash to pay for their debilitated child's clinical treatment, he leaves in disgrace. He left the place, outside punching the wall repeatedly in the rain. The transport he brings back home is come by a pack of Russian hooligans who attempt to mug individuals ready, and Box takes out his dissatisfaction by viciously beating every one of them. At the point when one of them is having trouble breathing after getting hit in the neck, he saves his life by a shoddy tracheotomy utilizing a drinking straw. Hutch requested bus driver to get down and he asked thugs to stop, but they didn't listen to him. They start to laugh on him. One by one teach them listen. At the end he apologizes to bus driver. When he returned back at home he find Baka waiting for him. They discussed their marriage life, intimacy, and who they are used to be, hoping to reconnect their past. Meanwhile Yulian, a Russian mob reinforce, gets upset with his driver. Enter into club, perform on stage and after talks with a group of people. Goes so conflict around. The thugs Hutch beat during bus incident. Yulian suspects the attack related to Abshak and he gets a Metro card found during the fight. Unfortunately, the card belongs to Hutch and the become gangster's target. Next morning at the breakfast Hutch precise Blake, he call him a brave boy. Harry then sends him to see a man alluded to just as the hairdresser who gives Hutch data around one of his casualties. He is the more youthful sibling of Yulian Kuznetsov, a famous Russian crowd implementer. Even though Yulian scorns his sibling, he feels a commitment to vindicate him and sends a group drove by his right-hand man Pavel to go after Cubby at home. Hutch conceals his family in the storm cellar and kills most of the assailants before Pavel represses him with a taser and places him in the storage compartment of a vehicle to take him to Yulian. Finding a fire quencher in the storage compartment, Hutch utilizes it to dazzle his abductors, making the fender bender, killing Pavel. He gets back, sends Becca and the youngsters away to a protected area, and, in the wake of gathering what's left of Yulian's group, he finds Sammy's kitty feline armband where it was all along, at the foundation of his sound system and FM radio hardware. It is then made sense of that Hutch is a previous inspector, a professional killer utilized by knowledge organizations to kill individuals who were viewed as distant or too hard to even consider capturing. He took care of his responsibilities tenaciously until he let an objective, he should kill for stealing U.S. government reserves go free. Returning a year after the fact, Cubby found the man had constructed another life and family for himself, needing a daily existence much the same as his. Box chose to resign against the desires of his bosses, and from that point forward has done all that could be within reach to smother any memory of his previous lifestyle. He then sets his home on fire to annihilate any proof, but Julian's people are still inside. They take Hutch's family photo. In the wake of providing Eddie with a reserve of gold bars to purchase his organization from him, Box consumes Julian's craft assortment and the obscene cash he was safeguarding for the crowd, letting him know that he can either decide to come after him or he can take what he has left and escape. Julian furiously hits up each man on his finance and seeks after Box to the production line, where David and Harry make an appearance to assist Hutch with killing the hoodlums utilizing various weapons and destructive snares Box had set up. They kill every one of the shooters except for Julian, who shoots and wounds Harry. Box accuses him of a claymore mine connected to an impenetrable safeguard and explodes it, killing Julian. He lets his dad and sibling escape, and is captured by the police, just to be immediately delivered without any charges documented. After 90 days, while purchasing another house with Becca, Hutch gets a call recommending that his administrations are as yet required. In a mid-credits scene, Harry and David are shown heading to an undisclosed area in a RV loaded up with firearms. A quiet family man gradually uncovers his actual person after his home gets burgled by two insignificant cheats, which, incidentally, leads him into a horrendous conflict with a Russian kingpin.